Are you tired of losing to the same old meta decks, just playing the same 4 decks over and over again? Well, this deck I'm going to show you is called Sprite Song. I've been trying it out. It uses Amber's singing ability to cheat out Emerald's removal, which oddly enough, Emerald kind of has the best removal in the game right now. So it's modeled after the old school Steel Song that we used to see from the earlier sets until rotation, and it's going to use Clarabelle as its primary draw engine. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of alternate ways to draw other than Amethyst, Clarabelle, and Doc right now, so it does unfortunately have to use that. But we're going to jump right into it. So at the 1 slot, we got Aurora, the Holding Court. Not sold on this in the deck. It's great to get the Mulans out early, the Minis out early, but just a good 1 cost to have. The Daisies as well, the Uninkable, but Quest for 2, very hard to deal with. But the main one you want to look for is always this Clarabelle, Clumsy Guest. The item banish isn't very relevant right now, but having a shift target for your big Clarabelle is key. So these are the 10 1 costs that I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at adding in Bobby, Zimmerowski, I believe is his name, but just that ability to filter through cards to find what you need. I think I might replace either the Daisies or a couple of the Auroras and try him out. In the 2 slot, we're running 4 copies of Ursula Vanessa, and honestly, this card is one of the main reasons I'm trying to make this deck work, just because that ability to sing a 4-cost song for a 2-cost character is huge, and was the biggest reason that Steel Song was so dominant for so long. So my mindset is, right, if Steel Song beat up on Blurple in the past and Steel Song's gone, can I use that mentality to beat Blurple now? We have 3 copies of Ursula Deceiver. This is just a great card, really good into Steel Song, takes Strength of the Raging Fire, really good into the Baja, the blue-green that we're seeing, takes their Under the Sea, their Your Welcomes, their Mother Knows Best. They have so many songs in that deck. Running Ursula is great. In the 3 slot, we have Lady Family Dog. I've been unimpressed with Lady in this deck. I think in Steel it's very nice. You can use her ability to cheat out a Doc or the Nala. There's a lot of good 2-drops, and I have decent 2-drops as well, but I normally want them established turn 2. Putting them down on turn 3 just doesn't really have the same effect. But Mulan, the Free Spirit, she's kind of the MVP of this deck. Quest for 2, which is great. But her support ability to be able to trigger World's Greatest Criminal Mind, that's kind of one of the main mechanics of this deck, and I'd love to get some more support characters in here. Amber does have support. Amber and Sapphire are the only 2 that do, but Ambers are very limited, and she's pretty much your best option for support in Amber. We have 3 copies of the Queen, Conceited Ruler, mostly in here for the support ability. If you need to use the Royal Summons ability, you can. I don't think I've used it once so far in my testing, but 3-cost Singer, decent stats, support, great to have her. But the other 3-drop you're going to be looking for the most is Clarabelle Wallflower, and honestly, the card draw is the main reason. Just card draw is so hard in this current meta, and having a card that can draw you a card on play is really nice. And then obviously the shift target as well. In the 4 slot, I've been testing out a couple copies of this Minnie Mouse Sweetheart Princess. So again, this is in conjunction with support, right? You use support to boost someone's attack, and then you banish them with her ability. They do have to be exerted, which is a little bit of a pain. We don't have a way to exert characters, but she quests for 2, which is really nice as well. But she's such a great way to deal with. Again, in the Emerald Sapphire, you got John Silver, you got the Basils, you got the Clarabelles. Those are all cards that just naturally qualify for her ability, and then with support, anything with 3 cost, 3 attack or more qualifies as well. Prince Naveen, having that bulky, high cost Uninkable is kind of rough, but just being able to play songs for free is kind of nice. I might cut this down a bit because he can't sing Under the Sea or Circle of Life, so he can't even sing all the songs in the deck, but when he can come out and play it, it's really nice. I find myself using him to play You're Welcome, usually on my own characters to get the card draw. That's kind of nice. And then his stats are good. Quest for 2, 3/3 character, sings for 6. Stitch, Carefree Surfer. I'm kind of thinking about Stitch like we thought about Rapunzel in our Steel Song decks. Like, we had a whole new world, but Rapunzel was the backup plan. And in this deck, Stitch is your Rapunzel. He's the backup plan. If you don't get that Clarabelle out and you need cards, Stitch is the backup plan. Very hard to deal with 4/8, so he doesn't qualify for World's Greatest Criminal Minds or any kind of removal like that, and 8 willpower is just so hard to deal with. They can still Hades him or Into the Unknown, which is a pain, but really good stats, great ability, as long as you can get to 7 ink. Clarabelle Light on her Hoof's the main draw engine. Without this card, this deck doesn't work, or you'd run out of cards. But she's such a pain to deal with. What's really great about Clarabelle, as you all know, is that her ability triggers at the end of your turn, so the opponent can't stop it, right? And that's kind of where a lot of her power comes from. Dumbo comes down, and they can't use his ability till the next turn. They can use it on someone else if they have enough ink, but Dumbo can't use his ability to the next turn. Clarabelle's is on the turn she's played, which is great. So she will draw you a lot of cards. Then we move into our songs. So the point of this deck, like Steel Song in the past, is early control through singing, and then we get up to Clarabelle, we start out drawing them, and then we kind of turn into the control deck, right? That's really the game plan. We kind of want to beat up on Blurple. We want to take out their early threats, their early evasives, take out their Dumbos, and then control the board through Clarabelle, Stitch, and singing. So with our songs, we have Heffalumps and Woozles. This is a great way to deal with any illusion character that has Vanish. It's a great way to draw a card, and it stops people from questing. It doesn't work on a lot of cards, like for Dumbo. It doesn't affect him because he can just use his ability and bypass, but they can't quest for their turn. So that can be nice, but the card draw is the main reason we run this card. World's Greatest Criminal Mind. One of the main reasons I want to try this deck out, just the ability to banish a character with 5 or more strength, and then you use that with support to get them to 5 or more. So just a great card, great way to deal with Clarabelles, like I said, Long John, Basil's, anything that has 5 or more. Mother Knows Best. We can sing this on turn 2 with Ursula, or we can cheat out a Mulan with Aurora's ability and sing it on turn 3. Hits anything that doesn't have ward, right? Sends them back to their hand. It's our main source of early removal. Great for dealing with Dumbos or things like that. The only thing I would say is you don't want to use it on cards that have, or unless you have to, on cards that have abilities with interplay. So Hades, probably not great to use it on Hades or Basil, because when you send them back, then they'll come back and banish one of your characters or bounce them back to your hand. So just be careful who you use it on. You're welcome. This is a very multi-purpose card, right? You can use it for yourself to draw 2 cards, which I do a lot just because card draw for this deck is really hard to get that Clarabelle out. But it can remove anything that doesn't have ward, location and items included, right? So having that item, you know, I've seen the Emerald Chromicon coming back. Just bouncing characters back when you banish them, that's such a pain to deal with. So having item removal, you know, in my back pocket if I need it is really nice. Locations aren't really a threat right now, but just being able to banish something and then use Clarabelle's ability when they get the card draw, that's your main reason for this. And Ursula can sing it on turn 2, which is really nice as well. Circle of Life, I'm only running 1 copy. I don't often get the 8 ink with this deck, but I do have some singers that can pull it off. And when you sing it and get to play a Clarabelle for free or a Stitch for free, that feels really nice, but just not very consistent. So it's just kind of fun at this point and great when it works. And then Under the Sea, the only board wipe left in the game. I can sing this pretty early on, right? I can sing this on turn 4 if I wanted to, if I get enough singers down. And just the ability to banish anything with 2 or less. What makes it a little bit worse than pairing this with Sapphire is I don't have the ability to lower attack, right? I can raise it with support, but I can't lower their attack like you can with the Rescuer's song, Heads Held High. I can't do that, but it does come in handy against those aggro decks or, you know, a lot of genies and Elses and things like that. Very powerful card, best board wipe in the game right now. So what would you try? What would you add? What would you take out? Let me know if you have any suggestions. I think this is a really fun deck to play. I loved Steel Song, and I'm trying to recreate kind of the tempo and the strategy that deck had. If you have any suggestions for me, how to make it better, if you want to try it out, let me know. The link's in the description. And as always, thanks for watching, and remember to keep learning Lorcana one misplay at a time.